Okay, let's talk about Israel, a topic that I don't cover here much often at all. And it's something that is a definite hot button issue. It's something that's a divisive issue. It's something that an issue that many feel will never be solved or satisfy anyone on either side of any issue pertaining to Israel. But it's still something that should be discussed. I myself have spent little to no time talking about it here. I've made maybe a video or two in the past of my 19 years here on this channel of making videos. Maybe two videos have been dedicated to talking about the subject of Israel. And there's many reasons why I don't talk about it, many reasons why I don't want to say I don't care about it, because it's kind of an insufferable thing to say that you don't care about lives that are being lost or lives that are suffering, etc. But one thing I heard this morning, and I listened to James O'Brien from the LBC. Those of you who don't know, those of you in the UK probably do know. He's the host of a show on I think it's London Broadcasting Corporation. I forget what LBC stands for. But anyway, someone in the UK can point out for me. I think it's London Broadcasting Corporation. But anyway, he's a liberal pundit that hosts a daily talk show on weekdays. And he was talking about the state of Israel today, or I guess it's yesterday now, and just what it's become. Like, Israel has become a state that started out and all the just living the hypothetical of just Israel existing, just like all the disputing and whatnot. But Israel became a state that was a bastion for the suffering of Jewish people worldwide. If you come here, you will be accepted, you will not be oppressed, etc. Whose land it is, okay, yeah, that's an argument for another day, but we're just talking about the state of Israel actually existing. How it got there is outside of this situation right now, of what I'm purporting here. Anyway, Israel became this state that was just open their arms to the Jewish people worldwide. You don't want to live under Stalin, come here. Europeans, they're still not welcoming you here after World War II. Come here. We're going to accept you, give you a way of life, provide for you, create every aspect from doctors to dumpster maintenance people. Like every job that you could imagine will be created here. And they turned what was just mostly barren desert land into just many areas became oases, whatever the plural of oasis is. Developed economies, developed communities, high-rise buildings, etc., etc. So now, as James O'Brien put it, is just something that it is the anti-antithesis of what it was created to be. They are now a state that is blockading another nation's existence, causing mass suffering, causing mass hatred. What is going on? What has happened? The state of Israel became this state of just like worldwide hatred. Now, you can always say that, the anti-Zionism, anti-Judaism, anti-Semitism, all that obviously existed since day one in any corner of the world, obviously, but at least they were seen as, even unanimously by Jewish people, as like, it is a place you can go to and not be oppressed. So now even Jewish people are saying like, what Israel is doing and what the Netanyahu regime is doing is terrible. It's terrible. It's every bit as bad as what any aspect of, you can say that it was worse in World War II, but you could still look at it and say like, how is what Israel is doing to the Gaza Strip right now any worse than any aspect of time that has been carried out against the Jewish people in any corner of the world to any degree, any different? Like, there are literal thousands upon thousands of children starving because there's no way to get any sort of truckloads of food, water, medical supplies. The entire Gaza Strip is blockaded. It's blockaded to the point that Israel is not allowing foreign press to come into the Gaza Strip. Like, if that isn't some Nazi-esque type tactics, what is? I mean, sure, they're not outright just marching people out of Gaza into these nice little camps that have showers in them and gassing them. Okay, they're not doing anything that far, but is what they're doing that far off? Like, let's be real. And as James O'Brien was talking about that this morning, I was just like, is this all part of a plan? Like, is this the ultimate plan? Because it's almost like Netanyahu and his higher-ups, like, they have to know that this blockade is seen as a negative worldwide. I mean, other than people paid off by AIPAC, like, other than that, like, who doesn't see what is going on in the Gaza Strip as a negative for Israel? Like, I understand. They reserve the right to retaliate after what happened from October 7th. What Hamas did was inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable, and retribution should be sought. There should be boots on the ground. There should be bombs dropping. Retribution should be sought. So don't get lost in the sauce that I'm just this blind Palestinian supporter here. Israel has every right to counterattack for when they were openly, viciously attacked by Hamas. But now it's to the point where it's just like, okay, you put boots on the ground, you drop bombs. What's the end game with blockading the entire place and keeping them from getting supplies? What's that? To starve them to death? Like, that's going to go over really well. It's obviously going over terribly as it's happening. So what is the end game here? And that's what got me thinking about how, like, is Netanyahu just trying to create such an anti-Semitic culture around the world right now that Jews get lashed out upon? Because you see more and more, like with all the stuff at Columbia University, and around the country here in America, and around the world for that matter, the protesting that is pro-Palestinian right now, calling for the existence of an actual Palestinian state. Like, all this stuff is rising up, and honestly, I think it's what Netanyahu wants. Netanyahu wants there to be acts of anti-Semitism carried out. He wants synagogues to be defaced. He wants Jews to be called out in public and shamed and stuff like that. Because it kind of just like, it's like a self-promotion to, you tired of that stuff? Like, you remember how the people were tired of Joseph Stalin and their treatment of Jews in Russia after World War II? Remember when all the Jews were tired of still not being accepted in Europe after World War II ended? Come to Israel. Like, I don't know. Is that what it is? Am I that crazy to think that this whole thing is now turning into something where it kind of like justifies the existence of Israel? If there then turns into this big anti-Semitic movement, bigger than what has been in the recent years, if there's this big anti-Semitic movement and synagogues start getting torched and defaced and all that other stuff that I mentioned a bit ago, if that all starts happening, it's going to be like, well, you know where we'll be accepted? Israel. And then Israel turns into this state where all of a sudden, maybe 1 million or 2 million more people just, seek refuge there. And it becomes a much more powerful player in the Middle East, a much more stronger, solidified state that good luck battling them at all. I don't know. I really think that the whole fantasy of removing and the whole Trump plan of removing all these individuals from the Gaza Strip is just going to say, like, okay, well, we can't, we can only have so much luck trying to attack Israel now. They've solidified their borders tenfold to what they ever been, and now we can't even go through the Gaza Strip because there's no one left in the Gaza Strip because they forced us all out. So now it's just going to be like, well, sleeper cells are just going to have to attack abroad, outside of Israel, outside of Palestine, outside of the Gaza Strip, West Bank, etc. Is that what Netanyahu ultimately wants? Because someone explain to me what is the possible rationale? Just to make all the innocents and the children suffer? I mean, is this not just going to breed more Hamas members in the future? Or whatever other splinter cell or whatever collective group of anti-Israeli followers of Islam that pop up in the future are going to be willing to join because they're going to be like, I got kicked out of my homeland in the Gaza Strip. Yeah, I'm willing to join up the fight against them. Like, I don't see how what Israel is doing right now is going to produce anything other than hatred of Israel and more anti-Semitism around the world. And I just see it as Netanyahu's just last Hail Mary attempt to get as many Jews to come to Israel as possible. Because they could come there through birthright, or they could become a citizen just by having a Jewish mother. Like, you don't even have to be a practicing Jew. If you have a Jewish mother, you're welcome into citizenship into Israel. And again, with groups like AIPAC, and if you don't know what AIPAC is, it's a political action committee here in America that influences votes. It's like guys like Chuck Schumer, one of the biggest dickhead liberals in all of Congress, is one of the biggest AIPAC supporters. He'll never speak out against Israel. He'll never vote against Israel. I think that AIPAC is a line in his pocket left and right. AIPAC's a line in Donald Trump's pocket. So it happens on both sides. Like, let's stop kidding ourselves. I mean, is anyone getting arrested for speaking out against Israel right now, or speaking for or against? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm losing my words. Like what you're seeing in Columbia University, where there's people speaking for the Palestinian cause that are getting arrested. Well, do we ever see the converse of that? Like, like no one's getting arrested for, we need to have a stronger Israeli state. We need to have more Zionism. Like, you would never see a group like that arrested because AIPAC is a thing. Political influence is a thing in America. So yeah, of course you're not going to see any pro-Israeli groups. I mean, other than a few that take it way too far, but you're not going to see, an entire campus revolt or anything like that taken over. But anyway, that, and you don't see many people speaking too highly about the state of Israel right now. So that's, maybe that's a fleeting point that I'm trying to make there. But the bottom line is that the rights of Israel will be protected by law in a country like America because they have political influence in America. They line pockets. They have money to do so. They have the organization, the know-how, and just the whole complete understanding of the political system and how it works, and enough butts in the seats that are in charge that make the decisions that Israel wants to be made. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is ultimately ridiculous, and I'll be the first American to tell you the whole system and how AIPAC influences decisions is ridiculous. And I will tell you, as someone who has a degree in political science, that AIPAC is arguably the strongest political action group in the country. And its one main overarching initiative is Israel and Israeli rights, or Jewish rights. It's such a minority group is commanding so much power. And that's not saying that any minority group or issue doesn't deserve to have their rights respected. But man, when you're influencing the system and gaming the system that hard, you make it that hard to do any sort of pushback on you. And as for the people, and a number of people have asked me this as well, why do you speak out so much against what the Russians are doing in Ukraine and not say something like, well, why is, America supporting Israel and what they're doing to the Gaza Strip? Is that not as bad as like what the Russians are doing in Ukraine? Well, number one, I am not a believer in any man-made religion. It's all fairy tales. If that insults you, good, because the existence of man-made religions insults me as a human being. So when I see two sides that are ultimately arguing over just which religion they were born into is the more important or correct one, then yeah, I can only play my fiddle so loud for the death and suffering of people going to war over something so stupid. So there's that, and there's ultimately no power gain here. Like, Russia is doing something for a power game to get more of their land in front of NATO's doorstep, which is the rest of Europe that is NATO, that isn't Ukraine. And what power gain does Israel get if they take all of the West Bank or the Gaza Strip? Like, oh no, like Jordan and Syria are going to be like, oh my God, they took the West Bank. Oh, there's our chances of ever doing anything. Like, no, like it's the minuscule advantage to them in any way, shape, or form if Israel took all those lands for their own. But with Ukraine, it's an actual aggression of imperialism. What I see Israel doing isn't imperialism. They're just being assholes, okay? Vladimir Putin and Netanyahu are both assholes, but they're doing things under different whatevers. I would say gains, but it's not like Israel isn't ultimately wanting to gain land. Like, that isn't the biggest thing. Like, oh God, we got a few square miles of extra real estate for Israel. Come on, Zionists, move on in, build your estates here. So anyway, the state of Israel, as James O'Brien said, is it is turned into something that is being universally despised, even by some Jewish people right now. Like, that's nuts. That's nuts. That it has gotten to this day and age that even Jewish people are despising what Israel is doing right now. It may not be in a majority as far as as the followers of Judaism go, but man, it is getting louder and louder right now. I mean, look at Sam Cedar. He's one of the biggest pro-Palestinian voices in all of YouTube. He's a Jewish man, by the way. Like, there you go. So, it's crazy. I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to make a video about this. It's something that deserves a lot more time and discussion. But again, it's a fight that it's going to be so hard to overcome the initiative and the wants of Israel because they have so much financial influence in just America alone with AIPAC. Look it up for yourself. AIPAC. Did I spell it right? Anyways. Yeah, it's just, it's nuts. And I have no answer of what is going to happen from here, what should be done, what will be done. I mean, one of Israel's neighbors getting nuclear weapons would change things, but anything short of that, Israel's going to do whatever they want, when they want to do it, unless someone just really complete opposite of Netanyahu gets in office. What can you do? It sucks. The only people I really ultimately feel for here are the children in Gaza that, number one, are either going to starve to death, or two, are going to be raised to become Hamas members, or again, or any type. They're going to join any terrorist group because they're going to see so much death and suffering around them. Then what can that you got to expect it. So thanks, Israel. You're breeding a whole new generation of terrorists. Thanks a lot. Or you're just killing off innocent children that didn't even have a chance to live life yet. Way to go, Israel. Thanks a lot. That is all.